Hello everybody. So today I wanted to talk about Demon Slayer. Specifically Demon Slayer, the Hinokami Chronicles. Jesus Christ. The one on PS5. It says in the back of the box, a sorrowful tale of siblings in which fates of humans and demons intertwine in console game form. And it's an adventure mode. Relive the story of the beloved anime, Demon Slayer, all the way up to the Mugen Train Act. Take on the role of the series protagonist, Tanjiro Kamado, and fight to stop the demons from preying on the innocent people. So, I don't want to ruin any of this. I don't want to go too deep into some of the story aspects, just because if you've never seen the show, or if you've never played this game, I don't want to go too in depth, but like it did say, it went through that arc all the way up to the train arc, if you know what I'm talking about, up until somebody's death. We're not going to get into too much of the story just because, again, I don't want to ruin any of that. What I did want to get into are some of my pros and cons with the game. So let's start with cons, that way we can end the video on a lighter note, on a better note. So some of the cons, as you're going through the story, getting ready to fight some of the bosses in the story, you have these like semi-open areas that you can kind of walk around in, and they have some collectibles in. So some of the collectibles are these glowing orange things that you can use on the home screen. It unlocks music, it unlocks costumes, it unlocks different characters' arts, as well as pictures and stuff like that. That's what the golden ones are for. The exclamation points are other collectibles, which also just kind of unlock story events that you can go watch after you do the fights. You can go back in the chapters and watch these different story events. I like that they did the collectibles. The thing is, within those little open world areas, they are so monotonous and so boring. You don't run very fast, and that's the whole goal. So like you go up into an area, it's kind of open world looking, like semi-open area. You click your map, it opens up the map, you see all the points of interest, and then all your job is to go collect all those points of interest, and then you can go to the main mission if you want. You could skip all those little points of interest and just go straight to the orange exclamation point and do the main mission, which is typically the main fight or whatever that may be. But that's kind of boring, because the thing is, your character doesn't run very fast. So it does seem monotonous, and you have to like run around this whole building to grab one little collectible, and it might be only five collectible points or whatever it is. And then you run all the way back and run. So it's like in those sections, I felt like I just turned my brain off and watched TikTok while I was kind of running through, or just threw something on the TV while I was running through. That was kind of boring. Also, your character doesn't run very fast, so it did feel like it took a lot longer to get to the places. So near the end of the game, I really wanted to skip some of those collectibles, but I'll tell you near the end of this video why it's good that I did it the way I did it, even though it felt monotonous. But in my opinion, that's really the only like annoying thing. The game does follow the story, so if you have seen the anime, you will know exactly what you're getting into. I think that's something, if we're going to talk about the good points, is really good with this game. It lends itself really well to the art style of the anime. So honestly, because the anime is the type of art style that it is, the game matches up perfectly. And if you took a screenshot, you'd be like, and you sent it to your friend, and your friend didn't realize that that's a game, they'd be like, what part of the anime are you on? So that's really cool, and they did a really good job. I think, yeah, Sega worked on this game, so that's really cool that they did that. Other positives, the boss fights are really, really cool. The fact that you can go into, like, if you're Tanjiro, you can go into your water breathing forms, and there's like a little energy bar near the bottom that you can save up for better forms of water, or you can just kind of have it as a level 1 energy and do your first form water breathing, and that's really cool. My personal favorite character to play as is Inosuke. I mean, he is my favorite character in the anime in general. I should have worn my Inosuke shirt. That would have been pretty cool. But he is super fun. With Inosuke, you can juggle up people. You can hit him up in the air and just keep hitting him. I guess that's somewhat of a down moment in this game, is Tanjiro's supposed to be the main character of the anime. he is the least fun to play as. And I don't know if it's just because it makes you learn as him and he doesn't have as many cool moves. Like, yes, he has the water forms, but like besides that, you have your main attack and you have your heavy attack. And that's really it. I don't really like his heavy attacks as much, where Inosuke, you can juggle people up in the air with your heavy attack. Nezuko, she has a really cool swiping attack. And the guy with the electric breathing, I'll have to put his name right up here. I can't remember his name, but he's the one that passes out when he gets scared and then becomes a beast when he's knocked out. He has lightning breathing, and when you get to play as him, every chance you get to play, he is really cool. His lightning attack, left to right, you can stun lock people, and that is actually fantastic. Another cool thing is you select 2 people. In the beginning, you're one person, but as the game progresses, you can select 2 different people to play as, and that's absolutely fantastic. I always chose, Inosuke as my main, and the lightning breathing guy that I cannot remember his name. So when you have them and you're fighting, you have like an L1 bar. If you've ever played Mortal Kombat back in the day where you had like your partner players, even in Mortal Kombat 1 you have this. You select L1 for them to come in and do a little bit of damage. They have 2 little bars that you can do that. So once you fill up 2 bars, they can do it twice. If you fill up 1 bar, you can only do it once. But the cool thing is once you hold L1, if you want to swap the people, you can swap them. They do share the same health bar, so it's not like if Tanjiro has a full health bar and he's almost low and you swap them, then the other person gets a higher one. That's not how that works. You still have the lower one, so that's a little weird. But another positive is some of these boss fights are really cool. The guy with the drums on his chest was really fun. It had some quick time events in there. And then once you find the opening thread at the very end of the boss fight, there is a QTE that you have to do to kind of slash their threads. That's really fun. Going back to the beginning of the video, what I was talking about with all those collectibles, there is a secret boss fight where you have to fight Rengoku, the fire Hashira. When I fought him, that was really confusing because you don't really fight him in the anime, but apparently because I collected enough of those little collectibles and I did enough of the little side quests, once you get to the end of the game, after you fight the final the final 12 Kyoses or whatever the hell they're called, after you fight the 12 of those, technically that's where the game would end and the credits would roll, but because I did enough of the side missions and the collectibles, I got to fight Rengoku. That was a hard fight. That one kicked my butt. I made it work and I think I beat it first try, but that, I was like, no way. I was already exhausted. I think that is a complaint about this game. Near the end, it gets kind of exhausting. You have boss fight after boss fight after boss fight, and they are pretty hard. It goes from, I don't know, like a 5 out of 10 through the whole game, all the way to probably like an 8.5, 9 out of 10 for those final few boss fights. And it just feels exhausting because, at least for me, I knew I was near the end of the game. I could feel it with just the way the game felt. And I was like, oh, I'm so close. I'm just going to fight through this and do it. And it was exhausting. I'll put some of Rengoku's fight here so you guys can go ahead and check it out. But holy cow, that was exhausting. Overall, the art style is fantastic. The story is fantastic. If they could just figure a way for those little smaller levels that you have to get all the collectibles, if they can find a way to do that better. There is a second game to this, so I will be playing that and checking that out and seeing if they improved on certain things, what they changed. And again, guys, this is my opinion, so this is just how I feel about the game. I think overall I would rate the game 6 out of 10, just because those mini levels are throughout the whole game and it breaks up the bigger boss fights. I understand why they're there. But if they weren't there, honestly, I could see this being like a 7 or 8 out of 10 for me. Without further ado, guys, if you liked the video, please leave a like. Let me know what games you're playing, and I can't wait to get more videos out for you. I beat Mouse PI for Hire, so that's a video I have to work on. I am currently playing... I bought some more games for the Xbox. Oh, but they're behind the couch right here, so I can't reach them. I'm playing Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem on the Xbox, so I can't wait to get some Xbox videos out for you guys as well. Without further ado, thank you guys for everything. Peace out.